Hi everyone, yeah. This is Franchise Kingdom and we are here for The Legend of Korra, the review of the third season. Yes, if you're here in the last episode, I say that I would not release or not record the first episode of the first season yet, just before I would do this review. So, yeah, here we are. Um, I also gonna do my predictions about the next season as well here because I could not do within the video itself. So yeah, let's begin with this book of Chains, and we see the whole squad of the Red Lotus, which have Zahir as his leader. Though he was not a bender, but because of the change book title, that was the portal that Korra let open with the spirits and all, and the new rise of power of airbenders through the whole planet. Zahir was chosen, of course, as to be an airbender. He then knew a lot of the airbenders' knowledge somehow. We still do not know how. And I have a theory about that. Maybe he was connected to Aang somehow. Because that's the thing, like, how he knew that much? Like, come on. Even if you say that the Airbender, maybe he could be an acolyte. It's possible. Because we know that Aang, after the end of the Last Airbender, in the comics, he reowned all the acolytes and formed what we saw, the descendants, of course, of them, fans of the Airbenders, become the acolytes that we saw in The Legend of Korra. Maybe Zahir was one of them. Another theory that could be, which I don't think it is for a lot of reasons, is that Zahir was son of Aang. I don't think that's the case. I don't think, I don't like to rule of the realm of possibility, because I think it is, of course, it is possible, but I think the probability is really, really low. So yeah, I kind of joke about that. Aang should like marry, or at least had a lot of sons and daughters with a lot of women, because he need to repopulate the Air Nation and all. Of course, it was a joke. Um, if it was Sokka, maybe would not be a joke. But like Aang, he's completely in love with Katara. We know that. Like that would never happen. First of all, because of Aang, and second of all, because of Katara, I would kill him for sure. Um, but this, of course, is a theory. I think it's more probable that he was an air acolyte. That somehow, being an air acolyte, of course, he would know all those things. I don't know. Also, what happened with the air acolytes? They still are there? I assume it is. I don't remember seeing any of them, but okay. We also see on this season a lot of more bending skills like lava bending, right? Bowling was able to do that in the end. We have the lava boy that I always forgot his name, that member of the Red Lotus. We have combustion bending back. We have flying bending as well. I don't know if we can count platinum bending, but in the end, debatable. Um, Oh yeah, I still do not rewatch the episodes. I did finish, uh, I think 1 hour ago, the last episodes. Just stopped to eat something. So I may, I still need to watch again. So be a little calm with me, with especially with these last episodes. Um, we also see a lot of places like the end of the last episode with Korra in the place with the crystals really remind me a lot of the second season finale. With also, if you remember well, was kind of the same plot with then killing the Avatar in the Avatar state, Azula, right? In that case, Zahir and this, which also are my two favorite villains. My two favorite villains of the whole franchise, by far. I also had to like to say one thing that has nothing to do with this season, but kind of connected with what I just said. Amon, he appeared in the season, so it kind of counts, right? If Amon was an unbender, doesn't matter who it was, we could discuss that maybe Amon would be the best villain. Especially if he was like I give some examples in some episodes prior, like if he was Boomy, if he was Sokka, if he was one of the Sokka descendants, if like a lot of possibilities that he could be, and that would make like a crazy plot twist, and that would make being a non-bender really so much more. Even if he like, even if he was not telling the truth about everything, like for example, if he lied about the scar, or if he was lying about how he had the power, like just one example, if he somehow managed to subdue a spirit instead of the spirit to come to him and chose him or whatever. Even so, like it would be probably for me the best villain, like by far, even compared with Azula. If he really was really chosen, and how like the way that he said, he probably would be like by far really no question. But the way that he was waterbender, uh, with all the problems that come with it, yeah, I think sorry, I think he may be the best villain after Azula and Zahir. Like because after don't have that good villains. Like we have an idiot, like Jao was so completely stupid. We have someone that have a really good potential to be a good villain in the second season. You know who I'm talking about, the chef of Daili. But in the last episodes, not in the last episodes, he was a complete idiot from nowhere. Like when he decided to fight against um, Appa and a hand, like in a place full of rock that he could use earthbending to kill Appa right there. He just no, I'm gonna punch you. Yeah, punch you. Was I not even gonna waste my breath with him? How stupid and weak of a villain he was. And also Unalak is Unalak also could be way better. But yeah, going back to the review of the season, which is the reason of the video. Um, Airbenders, the Air Nation, right? Officially, I call Air Nation because it's better. Like when I'm talking about, especially when I talk about multiple places, to call them with the same way. You know, keep calling like, oh, Air Nomads, Earth Kingdom, Fire Nation. Like, and sometimes I just say, oh, the Earth Nation, the Fire Nation, the Air Nation, because it's faster, especially if I'm watching the episode, right? Sometimes even in the review after the episode, I do that as well because it is faster. It's not because I forget how it's called, for example, but and like Genora Masters, like I definitely think that at least by the end of the Legend of Korra as a whole, the last episode, we're gonna see more masters. Maybe Kai, maybe other people, but I don't think it's gonna end with just Tenzin and Junora. I am really waiting about the new Air Nation, especially with less of, Aang. I love Aang, but like sometimes, and I do feel that this is gonna happen. And with Genoda, I feel that Genoda and Kai, of course, is gonna be something like that. Zahir. I completely understand his ideals. I don't agree with him. I agree that, of course, the way that he's going, it would be good in the end. We have history proofs that, but I don't think it was necessary. And he was really stupid. Like 99% of the villains, of enemies, like even one episode villains or full series villains like Ozai, being completely stupid by really stupid things that they did. Zahir could just kill Korra, and the plan would be perfect. He did not need to kill her in the other state. He could wait some time, find her again as a kid, and do that. Like, come on. Come on. If you do that, like, find her as a kid, treat her as your child, and do that after. This is really evil, you're gonna say, yeah, it's really evil, but it will work. Like, it's not so much a smarter plan. You're gonna say, well, he will not find, blah blah. No, come on. Come on. And I think it's really sad that how they ends. I say that already in the review of the last part, so we're not gonna go further on this, but it is really sad how he ended up. Yeah. I'm gonna say this. Don't mistake me. Don't take me wrong. I do feel Avatar has a problem with death, which is strange. Um, Avatar has everything to don't need to be to do not need to have problem with death, because like you have a whole cycle of rebirth, you have a whole cycle of death is an illusion. I passed the last airbender thinking that in some time I would be killed, which is completely normal. Like you have an old man that is a master that like it's all there. He's gonna be killed some point, probably to make Zuko a better person, and that did not happen. And that is necessarily is not a problem. But the problem is that a lot of times it's everything to the character die. And we could discuss about the characters really need to die. Personally, I don't think they need to, but a lot of times series, whatever media it is, book, films, they keep the character alive for popularity, even if he has nothing to offer anymore to anyone. When the character, and I don't give examples of the real life, I'm talking about fiction. When characters fulfill their objective, I believe they need to die. But I can understand someone disagreeing with that. Okay, it's not something like it's an absolute truth. Of course not. So because of that, I do believe that Ido need to be killed. And of course, he ended up dying later, as we saw in The Legend of Korra. Of course, he would not live 100 years, even if technically Bumi did live that. So it's hard to know. With all that, very few main characters really died in the show, like being killed. Okay, I'm trying to remember here. Jet, technically Yui, but she sacrificed herself. I think in her case it's not that. Also, she appeared in what, 2 episodes? Like, nah. Jet as well would like appear 1 episode and then get out for 20 and appear again. Like, come on. I really think in the Legend of Korra you have characters that could die. Like one example, is not that I want them to die. Mako. What Mako really needs, like all when you create a character, you have been established usually in the first time that he appear what is going to be his full objective in the whole series. That's like writing. Good writing is basically. Of course, not all the characters need to be that. You have the whole thing of mystery and all. I agree. Mako was about his closure with the relation of his father and mother that died about. You all know that, which is similar to Bowling, but Bowling was okay with that. I think he kind of missed the link and going there and talking with his grandma helped that, but who suffered more was Mako. Mako being had to be responsible for Bowling and all. And going there with the grandpa, giving the scarf, closed that perfectly. He don't have anything more to offer as a character. Like really. I was saying in the first season that he together with Asami would be perfect because they complete each other in also not only as a couple, but as what they need to closure. And that end up not working. He already got his closure. Asami did not got yet. So as far as we know, her father did not die, right? So I feel that she gonna still see him one time. I don't know if he as a character, as a father, will got his redemption. But Asami needs that. I don't think that um that conversation that she had with her father, like, oh, you really are a bad father, and capture him, was enough to closure. I still feel that she needs something there, as a character, as a person, to be fulfilled there. Bowling, I also don't know what Bowling really needs more as a character. Korra, of course, especially after the end of the season, need a lot of things, a lot of things to be resolved with her. I'm imagining that. So I'm gonna give you my expectations for the next season. Also because this video got too long. Um, I think the first thing is the first episode. Korra would not have. Korra would walk again normally because I don't think we're gonna have an episode with her later. So yeah, probably is gonna have. I don't know how much time we're gonna pass, but if they get a gigantic skip time, it's gonna be because, especially because of this, to have her recover of this. The R Nation gonna change everything. I still don't understand how exactly they gonna protect the world or something. We already have the White Lotus. We have the police that kind of work in every country. Um, I don't know. Probably they're gonna be a huge influence in North Kingdom, specifically Boston State got in total anarchic state. Also, what is gonna happen with the Earth Kingdom? My first big idea for the future is some cities gonna rebel and be independent, which kind of they already are. I already say that a lot last episode. So yeah, basically that. I still respect that we're gonna go to the Fire Nation because, come on, it's the only place that we did not go there yet. I mean, technically we did not go to the swamp as well, and the place from the Fire Nation became, I forgot the name. Um, but I don't know if we're gonna go there. At least we need some warriors. Yeah. Um, we're gonna need to go to the Fire Nation at least. Come on. Um, I don't know what to think more about the Team Avatar. Remember, I was right about my expectations of the finale of the Lesser Bender about the characters. I said a couple of times during the second season. Toph needs to learn more. Toph will learn metal bending because she needs to grow up as a character. Characters that don't grow up don't have reasons to be in the screen. I did say that, and I said about Katara as well. I did not get right blob anyway. Come on, who would predict blob ending? I predict there would be something about a new type of bending for her as well. I also predict the character development that she had. So that's why it's strange for me for Mako because I'm not seeing what he can like. Okay, I see how he can become better, but I don't see the need of that. You know, I don't see he as an important character anymore, which is really strange. I like him. Um. Oh yeah, last thing. We still have members of the Red Lotus. They say that in the end. Um, but I don't know if they're gonna be like the main plot again of the next season. It could be with the fall of the leaders of the Red Lotus, or maybe they were never the leaders. I don't know. It could be as well. I don't think that's the case. They probably are the leaders. And the rise of a new leader or something. Goddamn, what with me today? And we have this new character named what is the name here? Kuvira. What's up with her? Is she gonna be a new member? If I'm right about Mako not being one of the main characters anymore, don't think he's gonna die. I would kill him if I was the author, of course, because he's not needed anymore. And put Kavira in there. Who knows? A metal bender in the team would be crazy. Other than that, it would be he be a villain. I mean, she be a villain. Could be as well. I'm not seeing any other possibility here. Who knows? Which more? Which more? Oh yeah, Republic City. I don't like that guy. I defended him a lot during the first season, during the second season, during the. I don't remember if I defended him already in the third season. No, I think I got kicked out of it after the second. The president of Republic City, like maybe he's a member of the Red Lotus. We don't know. Could be. I mean, I kind of say that about Asami as well, and they equally in the first season a lot, and she ended up never being a villain. So I don't know. I don't like the guy anymore. I could understand his vision for a long time, which I probably think that most people would not like him and disagree with him. I could understand, and I still understand at the beginning all the times that he negate Korra's negate to give Korra help. But yeah, this season he became a completely terrible president and a person. Even bad as a politician, um, which he always was, but like he was still like a good politician, maybe not good to Korra, which again is not his problem. He should not be. He could be, but he should not be. Um, but this season he just became a terrible one. So I don't know. I think it's that. If I forget something, let me know in the comment section and I make. Oh yeah, Platinum Bane, and I still do not see because I did not go back to see again the episode. What happened with that? She created Platinum Bane there, or she just broke with brute strength? Like the first time I know that she just broke, like probably using Earth Bending, or just broke with the enormous strength that she has. But there was a time that she like broke the chain in her foot. It was just her strength, or was Platinum Bending? Who knows? Um, if it was, probably I'm gonna see. I don't think, maybe I don't even need to go back, because if it really was, we're gonna see her doing in the last season. Which again, I think we're gonna see at least one person doing Platinum Bending for sure. So after so much time, people saying that, I think it's that. We and see you guys in the last season. We're so close to the end after a long time. Bye.